Digital Audio Health by Cymatrax.
Welcome to the Rhonda Grant Show with your host, Rhonda Grant. If you believe that there is more to life than what you see right now and you want to find out more, listen in as her guests share their journey and their extraordinary experiences. Now, here is your host, Rhonda Grant.
Welcome to the Rhonda Grant Show. Sometimes the universe has a way of placing people or obstacles in your path to help guide and direct you on your mission. Listen in as we discover the path my guest has traveled. Has she been inspired by a calling, crafted her journey, or a bit of both? I invite you to embrace the conversation and to use it to help you to recognize if this is happening in your life. Our guest today is Ilona Seddik, content marketing coach. Ilona is a 2-time best-selling author, speaker, and has a PhD. She helps female coaches and entrepreneurs scale their businesses on social media by just posting their daily lives. She has helped over 122 female entrepreneurs find their passion, build their business, and earn the money they were always destined to have. Welcome to the show, Ilona. How are you today?
Great. Thank you, Rhonda, for having me here. It's a nice place to start conversations, to dig deeper. For me, it's a fresh air in my social media job.
Yes, it's wonderful. Well, I'm so pleased to have you on the show. You come from a place in just below Finland called
Latvia.
Latvia. Yes, we just talked about that before the show. And so you were born in Latvia. When did you leave Latvia?
Actually, I was there not a long time. It's just 1 year, and my parents decided to move. My father's work called him, let's say, and we lived in the North Siberia. I'm the girl born, not raised near the Arctic Pole. Absolutely cold weather, everything that you can imagine connected to this. I experienced that thing. And it's unbelievably memorable experiences from my childhood. I'm so blessed.
Mm-hmm. So what took you there? Why did your parents move there?
Because my father, now he's retired, but he was a civil airplane engineer. And there was the unique place that he can implement his abilities, his gift, and it was so rare profession at that time. I don't know how it works right now, but at that time it was very rare, and he really wants to be the part of this magnificent airplane world, being on the ground and being from the technical part of it. He was really passionate about it. It was a long story how he entered university. It was absolutely struggle how he managed to go to the army, and then he went back to the university, and it was challenging all the way, but
he did it. What a great example for life, though, especially if you were witnessing that. And it's a big deal to move your family, because you would have had to, well, maybe you weren't in school at the time, but it's a different culture going to the Arctic.
Yes, absolutely. And I can say, Rhonda, that maybe it shapes my experience as well, because I moved to America 4 years ago from Russia, and it was unexpected move for our family, for our entire family, with my husband, with our 2 kids. They were 5 and 7 at the time, 5 and 6 actually, and it was quite challenging. It was absolutely another, I would say, it's not another place to live, it's another universe. It's like landing on the moon. Absolutely. You do not know language, you do not know culture. That you mentioned it so right way. Main thing it's the culture. For me, it's always about culture. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
language. It's not about how to
Right.
get from that shop and buy this thing at that place. It's all about culture. It's all about how to be. For my part, it's always was the question how I can be the part of the community, how I can be actual member of this society, because I moved here to be the member of this society, not to be like looking from surface living inside the country, because I know so many people do this because of these challenging challenges.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very well put. I mean, when you're immersed into a new culture, it's not just about the language. It's about fitting in. It's about the diet, the lifestyle, everything. It's not like you're moving from Canada to the United States, where it's pretty much the same, different accents, but still the same language. So that was quite a culture shock. So, what was your next move after that?
My next move was I needed to find myself, really, to
Okay.
find myself all over again, because
Find yourself. Yes. Okay.
absolutely,
Beautiful.
because
Yes.
I
Beautiful.
believe that it was really the unique chance that
Uh huh.
I could start over
Uh huh.
from really blank, clear page.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can be anyone, I can be anything I want.
Yes.
I'm the in the wealthiest, biggest, brightest country in the whole world.
Right.
This is the place to do this. Uh,
Yes.
this is what my what come into my brain at that
Yes.
time. Absolutely. And I tried first to implement everything that I had, because
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe that you start from the blank page at the age of 35 years old. You
Okay.
have your own background. I'm a lawyer. I
Okay.
have a degree in foreign law, PhD. I have a BA degree in language teaching and literature. I have everything to start something wonderful, as I
Yes.
always say to myself. So I started to look at the things that I really wanted to do in my life. And it was not wrong, it was not the straight way. I'm assure you that if someone's now listen to us and in the maybe lowest place in their life,
Yes.
struggling, trying to find themselves, maybe facing some unpleasant emotions, let's
Challenges.
say at least, I know the struggle. It's not never the straight way. For me, you hear lawyer, then philologist, then a scientist, and I was all over the place.
Uh huh.
And when I moved to America, I found out that I wanted to connect with people.
Uh
This
huh.
is the real thing I wanted to do from the beginning. I wanted to help people to connect with them, and that's why I started looking at marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and not just the marketing, it's content marketing. So I can communicate myself through
Yes.
posts, through video, through live, through audio, as we talk right now, it's audio format, and connect with people and help them to achieve their goals. I can do this because I consume a lot of information from lawyer part, from language part, and now marketing perspective. It's kind of all come together, and it
Yes.
found me by itself, let's say, because I started from my book, and it was a book, fiction novel about my experiences, domestic violence survivor. I wanted to help other women to identify themselves as a victim, sometimes as a survivor, start dealing with these hard emotions. Through the fiction novel, it was more reachable for me than
Right.
through some specific, very professional literature. And I'm not a professional, I'm not a coach in this field,
Right.
but I can share my experience. I can invest my experience and help them. So I did this. It's the first thing that I did when I moved to America. I wrote my novel, and then I thought, okay, I want this novel be reached, be viewed and seen and heard by many people. How can I do this? First thing first, it's publishers. But
Mhm.
I understood that publishers, they're not so hot about me because I'm not the famous. I'm not. I do not have any connections, anything. I mean, and it will took me 2-3 years to publish a book, and I thought, okay, it's too long for me.
Yes.
Let's see the other way. It should be the other way. The other way was through social media.
Yes.
It was free, in brackets, free because you invest your time anyway. It's not free,
Right. It's
but
not free. Mhm.
it's not direct money. Let's say it's my
Exactly.
time. Okay,
Ah,
I could invest my time, and
right.
I thought, okay, I want to try to do this because I know my book is very, very important. I want it to be in the hands of the women I want it to be in.
Yes.
So I started my journey, and from the ground zero, everything about social media, how it works, what is marketing, how you market yourself, what is important, what is not important, how you know your target audience, how you reach how you find your place in the market, researches,
Yes.
data. And it was long, long way. It was long and intensive way.
Yes.
And I did it. My novel ended up to be a bestseller, and it was very successful.
Yes.
I'm first time author, and along the way, I gathered around myself a lot of female entrepreneurs, a lot of heart-centered women, and they reach out to me and they ask me, "You did it so well with your book. I'm not a writer. I have a course. I have a wish to connect with other people through social media. You did it so well, so seamlessly. Can you help me, please?"
Yes.
And that the place where when it clicked for me.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
I thought, oh, that's what I wanted. I wanted to connect with people and helping them on the daily basis, not
Mhm.
from book to book. It's a very important thing, very, very good way to start, as for me.
Mhm.
And I started to help them on social media, and that's how it worked out for me. Since then, 122 female entrepreneurs behind. I have this experience. I have this ability to send the message to the
Mhm.
right people. Just recently, I worked with nonprofit organization, domestic violence
Mhm.
shelter. For again, this is very important topic for me because it's connected
Yes.
with me personally. That is why
Right.
I want to be investment
Uh-huh.
for life of these women. Mostly it's women, and I worked as a content marketing strategist there as well, because this is how I can be helpful. This is how I can invest my heart, my knowledge, my experience, and let other people be aware that this is our problem. It's not their problem, it's our
Mhm.
problem.
Mhm.
It's so personal, so relatable. Unfortunately, I did this mistake when if we go back to moving to America,
Mhm.
my story, when I moved to America, I naively thought that it's the best country in the world.
Right.
It's all figured out.
Mhm.
It's almost heaven here. It's
Mhm.
how normally foreigners see the United States. All
Yeah.
these movies, all these series, it's like it's all done here. We are the best. And actually, I saw the ugly picture that it's not over yet. We just in the early beginning. We just figure out things how we can solve the
Mhm.
domestic violence problem.
Mhm.
It's here. It's around the neighborhood, and it was really quite a shock for me.
Yes.
That is why I started to invest myself into helping empowering other women
Yes.
to through their business, because I do believe if I can help other women to expand their business, meaning I help other women through this business owner, meaning that I do something good for the world, for the market I serve, let's say United States.
Mhm.
It's a huge deal for me. This is my source of energy, my source of inspiration, because it's not all not about money. Money, it's bonus, it's nice, it should be rewarded, absolutely. But it's more about helping them, because I know how some women can feel miserable and really in the bad place. And we need more women to be empowered to move us forward as a society.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very tender topic that you're speaking about. What is, you're also going to let the audience know when we have our break, but what is the name of that novel so that women may write that down?
Yes, it's Cahokia.
And do you want to spell that for them?
Yes, it's Cakhoca.
Beautiful. You made it into a novel in order to tell your story, in order to help women, because you also learned how to get out of the situation that you were in. And there's some women right now who may be listening to this podcast that don't know what to do. And they may feel they don't have any options. Is there anything that you can say right now, like one or two ideas of what that woman may do right now in order to put some distance between where she is right now and where she might be going? Because one of the things that I find is that when we're faced with a hurdle in life, it may seem all consuming, and it also may seem like it's a really big deal. A deal is not really the word that I'm looking for. To be able to remove yourself from that situation, to get on the road that you really want to be on, as you say, find yourself, which is create the self in an environment that you're allowed to be yourself, right? And we always think that there's such a big, long road between where we are now and where we want to be. But with any struggle and with anything you do in life, it's always one step. Instead of looking at the whole big picture, it's just one step. What can I do today to help me? And can you discuss maybe a couple of things that a woman might do?
Yes, absolutely. From my experience, I could say that you need a safe place, but you need to make it happen smoothly and safely for yourself, because sudden moves, it's not that I would require to you to do, because sometimes abuser can become a stalker, and it's very, very dangerous situation. So you want to move yourself from the situation smoothly and as safely as possible. Meaning that first thing you need to do, what I will eat, something very practical things. And what I do, I have a specific session for the women in toxic and abusive relationships. As a content marketing coach, again, I'm not a domestic violence survivors coach.
We understand. We understand.
Yes, it's about marketing, and the first thing, how you can have money from your abilities, how you can launch your personal brand on social media and start to monetize your ability, your gifts. You have something very, very specific, something that you can suggest to the world, and they will pay to be the part of your gift. And this is how you can start to be financially independent. If you are financially independent, you can make a decision about your life, about place to live, how you will live, what you will do in life. That is why social media, again, it's you invest your time, but you can turn this time into money in a very specific and easy way. There is a strategy behind it. And of course, I do not talk about now dangerous situation that you are in. I mean, you are in the hot situation that you need to escape. Of course, you use shelter, you use hotline, use all sources that are available now, and they are free to use, just to avoid this dangerous situation if it's very hot in the hot way. And the next huge step I will think about how I managed it. I thought that, and hear me out, it's not their problem. It's not problem that abuser is bad, I'm a good. it's something inside me calling for the abuser to come. Again, it's not about your fault or not fault. We do not talk about this. It's my responsibility to deal with my healing process. It's my responsibility. So to escape and to be financially independent, to cut off the situation, it's the first step. And the next step, huge step, is to heal. Really to face your demons. It's not pleasant, I promise you. It's not nice. It's not breathtaking, but it's worth it. It's worth every single step. I can say you very loud and clear now because I have my partner, my dear husband,
Yes.
whom I met in very interesting situation. But
Yes.
I have my 2 children, and where we moved as a family to the United States. We move and we live here as a family. We very tight, small community, and it's worth it. I promise you, every single step. You can breathe freely. You can be whoever you want to be, and always remember that you are enough for everything that come across your mind, every crazy dream, every crazy thing that you can imagine. I do believe if it comes to your mind, to your soul, to your heart, it means that you can do this. You can do this, everything that you can ever imagine. I'm a life example of this. Nobody
Yes.
could ever think about that girl from the village near the Arctic Pole with the few people around could end up in the United States best-selling author twice, a business owner. I mean, nobody around me could ever bet on me and said that Ilona will do the job. I mean, everybody else will succeed in life except her, because she is not normal, she's not clever, she's not beautiful, she is not blah blah blah. You see?
Yes, beautiful story of survival. One of the things that you've touched on a couple of times there is to set in your mind what you're going to do. And sometimes we don't understand the power of our subconscious. If we dream about something better, something that we want, that something that we want is probably going to come true. And so if you are thinking about leaving a situation, going somewhere, doesn't matter what it is that by thinking about it, by daydreaming about it, you've already put that in motion for that to happen. And the more you think about it, the more that motion starts to speed up. And with that comes a confidence that you really didn't know that you had. So instead of spending time being angry and fretful and worrisome, think of the impossible. It might seem the impossible, but people have done impossible things. And I mean, you are an example of that. And it didn't happen overnight. You had to take all these little steps. Some of them were big steps and courage, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so thankful that you outlined this. It's not overnight magic. No. Unfortunately, it took me years and years to come to this point. And the beginning, how I end up professionally here. Yes. Again, I had 4 degrees to have exactly what I wanted to have. 4 of them, years of my life. Again, it's not overnight success. The same here for social media, especially for some reasons, and I explicitly know what is the reasons, but people think that if you really post on social media, let's say 1 month, and it will be magical. Something will come into your life like right away.
Yes, just looking for that quote. I'm just looking for that one quote that I'm going to post on
Yeah.
social media, and it's going to
Yeah.
explode.
And go viral.
Go viral.
People, this crazy idea to go viral. Why on earth you want to go viral? You don't. I strongly do not recommend you to go viral,
Right.
because you will face so many unpleasant emotions from going viral than pleasant one, because
Right.
people will start to talk about you in a very direct way. Why you looking like this? Why you do not do this and
Yes.
do that? I mean, it's for some reason it happened all the time. Whenever I have at least 10,000 views on my reel,
Yes.
I will find some ugly comments there that I'm not that type. I'm so worthless. I'm so useless. I'm so etc. etc. etc.
Yes.
People will not come to you with the nice things. Unfortunately,
Well,
I
yeah,
could
those
say you.
people don't come from a good place themselves, right? And
Yes,
has really
yes,
nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with their mindset. And they wish that they were you and could be and could have the
yeah,
followers that you have. And so when they don't, that's their way of saying bad things.
yeah. I'm better than
Because
you.
and that
Anyway,
makes them
Ilona,
feel,
I'm better than you.
yeah, that
Like,
makes them important.
yes, absolutely. And I always agree. Like, you are the beautiful, amazing person. I'm
Uh-huh.
nothing like you. I'm worthless, useless, whatsoever. I mean,
Yeah.
people said about me nasty things right in front of my eyes, right
Oh
directly to
no.
me. And I
Oh
was
dear.
very, very trained and experienced. There is almost nothing you can say to me that will offend me, because it was not on social media. It was very direct contact. I faced bullying when I was at school, even at the university, the first one.
Yes.
And it was a very, very specific and direct way, names and all this. I was beaten up. I was
Oh
called
dear.
names,
Oh my.
whatever you can think of. I mean, if people say that I'm a loser, they for sure wanted to show me exactly why and how I'm a loser.
Mm.
So now it's okay.
I'm so sorry to hear that. People can be cruel and they don't, it makes me wonder if they were treated that way and that's how they treat others. Do you think? I mean, we're not
Um,
psychologists here,
yeah,
and this is tough things that we're talking about because it really affects you at the fundamental level. I just wonder about that. Do you have any?
yes. I when I dealing with these problems, because for me domestic violence, it was like on the top of layers of everything that led to the domestic violence. It's like the final step, final cherry on
Yes.
the cake,
Yes.
let's say. So bullying, it was one of my biggest issues. And how I deal with it, first I try to understand why it happened with me, and I
Hmm.
understand clearly that it's not connected with me. It's nothing
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm
with
thinking.
me wrong. With me wrong. It's
Hmm.
more about that these we talk about children. These children, they were taught to act like this by grown-ups. It's something unbearable happened inside their family, so they pour this pain on me. It's not about me, it's about them, because we just mirrors of each other.
Hmm.
They mirror in me like this. It's not about me, it's about them. And when I
Right.
understand all these questions, am I good enough? Am I smartest? Do I have enough education? Do I have enough experience to say these things? Do I? It disappeared, because it's not about me. I know who I am. I know what my worth is. I know my experience. I know what I'm capable of.
Hmm.
So much is coming. I mean, it's me who can decide what life I will have, what decisions I will have in my life.
Yes.
It's on me.
Mhm.
I'm the main character, the main person in my own life. I
Yes,
can do
perfect.
this. I can do this. I
Yeah.
can move on. I can deal with this. I can heal. I can move to another country if I want to. I can
You
be
know how to do
whoever.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no, now my husband, he's Arab, and we have Arab language, Russian language, English around our household. So for
Yes.
me, world is an open place. World is
Yeah.
my family. I can feel myself at home at any place
Mm.
because I do not think that this is where I was born, this is where I live, and this is what I going to be. I can choose the place where my abilities can flourish the most. I can choose it.
Mhm.
So in my life, it was the United States. Occasionally, not intentionally, but as you said, when you dream about, when you think about whom you want to be, whom you see, I envision myself as a best-selling author in America, but living in deep village in Russia, it was not, at least it was impossible. Let's say the least it was impossible.
Yes.
But nobody could stop me to dream about it, to
Yes.
think about it.
And even though you knew that you had a gem when you wrote that book and you knew that would help other women, you didn't give up. I mean, you said, oh, well, that didn't work. I'll have to try something else. I mean, you kept with the program because you believed in your mission. And your mission, your journey was to help other people because you knew what it was like in the extreme place of the world. You experienced this stuff with, sounds like you didn't have a whole lot of support, even if you wanted any or needed any from the villagers. And you went to social media and you created your audience. I mean, that's remarkable. A lot of people, you have a lot of strength that I find that it's easy to say, oh, that didn't work. I'll have to try something else and set it aside, right? It's easy not to write the book. I mean, a lot of people want to write a book, but to get to the point where you've written it and then you don't, publishers are not interested in what you have. They're not like you have to have, I don't know how many followers in order to secure a publisher. And so you created a situation where you really were blessed with finding that you could even help people beyond the book.
Yes.
Which again is another step in creating yourself and your environment. You said that you have 4 degrees. Can you let us know what the degrees are in so we have an idea of what you studied?
Yes, absolutely. First, it was a law degree because I watched the movie with Al Pacino.
Yes, perfect.
Devil's Advocate. It was so inspiring and moving for me.
Yes.
For so many weird reasons, but I was envisioning myself in the court and all these gorgeous arguments, and I'm winning. And partly it was trauma speaking about my bullying problem because I didn't have this place where I can flourish, where I can show myself at school. So I envision and imagine myself there. So I become a lawyer. It was quite interesting for me. I love scientific work. So I get specific degree in my scientific work. So I'm a scientist officially. And then I become a PhD in foreign law because I wanted to explore more in my field, to search, and I really wanted to find a way to connect with people, to share my ideas. At that time, it was through my scientific work. And the final step that led me before my marketing journey, my writing journey, it was very logical. I was always a reader. My grandmother, she was a teacher of Russian language and literature. And I thought, okay, I really love Russian language. I really love literature. I really want to know how I can communicate with people to share my ideas, teaching. So it's all it was all there. So when I had my two babies, one by one, I thought, okay, I want to devote my time mostly to be with them while they're so small. And doing this, while I'm doing this, I want to have a degree. I want to have this prepare for another stage of my life. So I had
Wow.
the BA degree while I was a primary caregiver of 1-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter. It started from there.
Wow.
And almost all their childhood, they see their mom, or childhood, they see their mom studying. I
Yes.
believe it's very good example for them to
Very good.
now to have this pattern that if mom is studying, it means for me it's normal for our family to study.
Yes.
I wrote a book, and my kids wrote their books at the age of 7 and 8 because it's
Yes.
normal for our family.
Yes.
It's something that I can somehow invest in their future. And this is why for me it was very important when I moved here. I said in the early beginning of our conversation that I wanted to be the part of this community. Why? For them to set this example, to show that you actually can do this. Because for the most parents that immigrated here and when they are grown ups, the main job is to make this move. This is the huge step, and like my job is done. But I want to continue the path and show them that you can really establish yourself successfully here to find your place. And it's not me just telling them it's all possible, make it happen, do this. I mean, it's me in front of their eyes doing this.
Yeah.
And I turning back and said, see, guys, it's absolutely clear that you can do this. I did it. Your
Yes.
mom, you much smarter, you much fortunate than me, you much
Yes.
beautiful than me. So for sure you can do this. I mean, I could do this. You better than me. You can do this too.
Yeah. Well, you set an example and you are a role model to your children instead of saying, do this, do that. You need to study, you need to do this. They see it and it becomes a natural thing for them, is that they think that this is their children. So they think that everyone's household is like this, that they're very well educated, although they're not putting those words may not be in their brain, but the imprinting is there. And catching them right at the beginning is the best, because you set success in their path. You have had a really difficult journey and you know what it's like to struggle. And so now their path is not going to be easy. No one's is. It's always, this way and that way. But it's going to be, they're going to know where they're going because their mom has shown an example of what is possible, right? Because not a lot of people have the opportunity to write a book. They don't have the time. They're keeping a full-time job. They're raising children. And it's hard to find those times to write paragraphs and chapters. And it's easier not to do it because it's tough to make a commitment to a full book. That's a big commitment. It's like being married.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like being
it's a
married.
long journey.
It's
Yes,
a
and a
long
lonely
journey.
journey.
It's lonely.
Lonely.
It's very
Absolutely,
lonely.
because just you and your book,
You and
nothing
your
else.
book.
Not. I mean, social media wise, like you post it,
Yes.
you have reaction. Okay, you go from there, you post again. You post.
Yes.
You have at least some engagement, something,
Yes.
some feedback.
It's so important for that engagement, because a lot of people will say they're writing a book and people don't know what to ask them. Well, what are you writing it on? And sometimes you're not even ready to say because you really don't know, because you're still creating it. Because
Yes.
books have a tendency, my experience is to, at one point, it's almost like it's writing itself and it's got its own journey because you've put this in motion and the motion just continues to move. And as long as you show up and you're present to put pen to paper or type it into the computer and in a Word doc, as long as you continue to show up and type that information in, it ends up. Did you find your book did that? It sort of had its own journey, and that you pretty much, your job ended up being the job of making sure it got into the hands that it needed to get into. I mean, that ends up being the job, because now you're committed, and the book almost is like an entity onto itself, and you don't want to let the book down. You don't want to let the book down.
Yes, it's exactly what happened to me. And as the part of content marketing strategy for some of my clients, we do write
Yes.
a book. I work as a book coach as well, because it's content is like the core of everything. It can be the
Yes.
post, but it can be several of the posts. Several posts can end up being a book. It's absolutely normal in our reality of our life. So for many of my clients, I work as a book coach as well. And
Perfect.
you're absolutely right that book, what I saw in my practice, in my experience, that book comes to the specific person in the specific period of time. But if you miss it, if you do not find at least 15 minutes a week, again, 15 minutes a week, and you actually, I did it with one of my clients. She wrote a book within 15 minutes a week.
Yes.
It was a long period of time. Of course, it was not overnight, but she invested intentionally these 15 minutes a week, and it ended up being a book. So if you do not catch this moment and this idea, it will go to another person. And later, and that I know exactly, you will look at that person and say, oh, I wanted to write about it. I want it.
Yes.
I mean, ideas, they are existed. They are sent us from above, whether you believe in God, universe, whatsoever.
Doesn't matter.
It's something from above. And if you will not execute it, someone will.
Yes.
Always remember this. Always.
Yeah. It comes to court you. And I had song lyrics that came to court me. And I would wake up with a song and say, oh, I've got to write that down in the morning. No, you don't write it down in the morning. You get up and write it down right then. Yes. And then I would hear it on the radio, the words that I had received, but not written down and not saw it to completion. And with a book, I find that this information does come to you. You're absolutely right. And if you don't stop what you're doing and write it down, it just lifts, it's on wings, really. And it just flies and goes to someone else who's ready to record it.
Yeah.
And the more you listen, the more you pay attention, the more these unbelievable sayings and chapters come to you, and it becomes magic. And people, this is the best teaching that I found so far, is being a student of the universe and recording those morsels, because you'll end up with a book. And you've gotten the information because the other people need to hear it.
Yes.
That's why it'll pick up and take off and go to somebody else, right?
Yes. And you are absolutely right. And you said it, you have an audience. Again, it's not my imagination. It's from my experience. Each and every person on the planet Earth has its own audience. His or her audience. Absolutely. You have your audience. For some people who are ready to invest a lot of time and money, it's millions and thousands and tens of millions. For those of you who are not ready to invest a lot of time and energy, it will be hundreds. But nevertheless, can you imagine hundreds of, even if you have 125 followers, from that point, I start to have my clients. Guys, 125 followers.
Yes.
Can you just envision 125 people in front of you?
What are you going to tell them? Yeah. And you have an audience. So now you have an audience. what do you want to tell them? Right.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
Yes.
Like, what do
Yes.
you think they need to know? Or just pay attention to those morsels that will come to you every single morning and post them. Right.
Yeah, it's here for a reason. Yes, we all here for a reason. And exactly, you can pick and can send the message to these people. Because in so many cases, I hear that, okay, Ilona, but my idea, it's not so unique. I mean, people help, I don't know, to lose the weight. So many people help already to lose the weight. I'm the another one person and blah, blah, blah. And I said, the thing is that you are not trying to solve some unique problem that like few people have. The thing is you want to solve the old fashioned problem
in a
with
new
your
way.
Unique way.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's it. And your people will hear only you. Of course, they know about how to lose the weight from that person, from that book, from that podcast, but they just know it. But you can make it happen for them. You can motivate them. You can show them actual actionable way, and they can say, oh gosh, I need to do this because this is first time, and I really hear that something actionable for me.
Yes.
For some people, how to lose the weight eating in McDonald's. There is a way. There is a teacher who can lead them to their result through this way. We're all so unique. We're all so different, and you have your audience, and you have the unique gift inside you that you can invest into the world. And believe me, if you invest something precious into this world will instantly give you back 10 times more, 100 times more. It's always like this. If it's good thing, you will have a lot of good things in your life.
Yes, that's right.
If it's a bad thing, it's again will be 10 times worse. I mean, it's boomerang. We all mirrors of each other.
It's energy.
Yeah, exchanging energies with each other, and it becomes growing bigger, bigger, and bigger.
Yes. Yeah, don't hold back. That's right.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Rhonda Grant Show right now, whose podcast has been treated with digital audio health by my sponsor, Symatrex. And today we have the great and ultimate pleasure of speaking with Ilona Seddik, and she is going to tell us how you may purchase her novel and where you may reach out to her on social media or however she's going to let us know.
Thank you, Rhonda. Of course, on social media, I'm fond of social media. I'm on all social media, but primarily I love Instagram. So I'm on Instagram, and it's very easy to find me. It's just my name in one line with no signs between, just Ilona Seddik in one line, and you find me very easily. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever you think of. Yeah, I will be there.
Yeah, so spell your name for the audience so that they may write that down.
Yes, of course. It's ILONASEDDIK. That's it.
Wonderful. Do you feel that you've been called or crafted your journey, or a bit of both?
A bit of both, I believe, because I do believe that we have something from above, something that gifted to us, but it's only our job to make it happen. Nobody will come, nobody will hold your hand, nobody will encourage you or motivate you or be always with you. You are on your own. You are the main person in this journey. If someone else can support you, can help you, can cherish you, it's wonderful.
Yes.
If nobody's around, it's wonderful too. It means it's just you, and it's okay.
You know, that's the best advice that I've heard. You know, we love people. I mean, I love people. I fall in love with so many people. I just think they're fabulous. I've fallen in love with you in this podcast, and it's what breathes life into me. is speaking with people who have their journeys. But at the end of the day, we're by ourselves. It is us. We have a fundamental responsibility to our journey in our life, whatever it may be. And this is the second time that you've said this. And people may think and may wonder if someone would just encourage me, but you are the someone in your own life. And you can't wait your whole existence for someone to pat you on the back and say, that's great, because maybe nobody's going to do that. You have to build and strengthen your character as you are on your walk to wherever your destiny you've chosen to go.
Yes, and you have everything for this.
We are become equipped with this.
Yes, and it's only on you. You wanted to unpack these gifts. You are ready to face the struggle, because why I always talk about struggle, you would probably think, okay, maybe some person can just make it happen. You see them, genius, I don't know, Einstein or William Shakespeare. But if you really carefully will look through their biography, you will find that there will be always some struggle. Always. It's how the nature works. Think about this. During the winter, all leaves fell down, and they hardly raising up. They hardly flourish again. With the effort, everything comes with effort. As I always talk to my clients, that it's two ways. We can make it two ways: time or money. Let's choose time or money. There is no other way. I do not have a magic mushroom. You're not Alice in Wonderland.
Magic mushroom. Yeah.
I do not have them. Maybe someone have, but I do not them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But you're hilarious. Yeah, you're hilarious. Your sense of humor is fantastic. What extraordinary discovery have you found in your life?
Other people is absolutely treasure and gift on your way. Treat them with absolute respect and gratitude. Whatever they bring into your life, is it bad or good things according to you? But you will find out at the end that it's all was for you. It's made not to you, but for you. Treasure other people. Because all wonderful things, everything in our life, every single thing comes through other people. Like this
That's
podcast.
pretty profound.
Like it will never happen if I will not meet you. You can make it happen, that I can have this wonderful conversation with all world almost. I could never do this myself. I mean, I do not have means, power, money, or what you can think of to talk with the whole world. You can do everything and unpack all your gifts through other people.
Yeah.
If they are around you, cherish them. If they're not close to you, say good things about them.
Wow. I just pause with your teaching and allowing it to resonate with me, as I'm sure the audience are doing as well. I don't know if you realize the inspiration that you are giving people just with the simplicity of it, yet it's pause for thought and contemplation, how you put your words together to let the audience realize your powerful, powerful messages. I just love it.
Thank you, Rhonda. You're too kind.
I love it.
It's straight from my heart into my journey.
Yes. Well,
unfortunately, it's like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you're anchored so well in what your journey is, and you have a resiliency that is the first teaching that you give in this program, is your resiliency and your ability to meet the challenges, throw down those obstacles, and just keep moving forward, because your path is so important. And now you're affecting a generation, which are your children. So your message is so far outreaching. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show. And I'll be listening to this again a couple of times, because I want to write down some of the things that you've written on this show, because I think they're daily things that we need to think about. We really do need to think about those things. So I really appreciate you. I'm so glad that we finally had this chance to spend this time together. And I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. It was my pleasure. Absolutely. I'm here for this. I really have so much pleasure talking to you. And as I said in the early beginning, social media, it's quick thing. It's very right of the way. And here is the place and time. Really, I was invested in this conversation. It was very important to me. And I do love our connection and cherish it for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Theme song for the Rhonda Grant Show is Sun on the Water, composed and performed by my friend John Park Wheeler. This is Rhonda Grant with the Rhonda Grant Show, author of Magical Forces Within, Extraordinary Discoveries in an Ordinary Life, inviting you to look for the magical forces within yourself today and every day.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rhonda Grant Show with your host, Rhonda Grant. If you would like to find out more information about Rhonda and her upcoming guests and the work that she does, go to her website, rhondagrantauthor.com. That's rhondagrantauthor.com.
Digital Audio Health by Symatrax.